Tonight, we take an in-depth look at the recent high-stakes meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, a gathering that has left global observers questioning the dynamics of power, strategy, and diplomacy. From the outset, it became clear that President Putin emerged with significant advantages, receiving the full ceremonial treatment from President Trump, a red carpet welcome that underscored Russia's renewed visibility on the world stage. Despite expectations for meaningful progress, no ceasefire was agreed upon, and none of Putin's maximalist demands were reduced. Instead, the conversation shifted from a simple ceasefire to proposals for a full agreement and even a trilateral meeting with President Zelensky, with no immediate consequences or additional sanctions applied by the US, leaving many to describe the outcome as a clear win for Russia. President Trump had initially championed the idea of a ceasefire, even persuading President Zelensky to accept it earlier in the year. Ukrainians had been prepared for months, yet Russia has persistently refused, now demanding a more comprehensive deal that allows them to retain all territories currently under occupation while pressing Ukraine to relinquish areas they could not conquer militarily. Such a proposition, promising a future ceasefire, is seen by experts as neither serious nor equitable. Though President Trump had warned of sanctions should Russia resist, these measures have not yet been enforced, leaving the threat largely symbolic. Analysts argue this inaction diminishes the United States' negotiating credibility and portrays the administration as weak, unable to compel Putin to make concessions. The stakes are stark. Vladimir Putin's ambitions include territorial claims in Donetsk and Luhansk, as well as forcing Ukraine to cede control of other strategically significant areas. If Ukraine were to comply, it would represent a substantial gain for Russia without further military engagement. Historically, observers have drawn comparisons to the appeasement policies of the 1930s, likening it to ceding the Sudetenland to Hitler in hopes of limiting further aggression. The optics of Putin standing on a red carpet alongside the US president reinforce Russia's re-emergence as a respected player on the global stage, despite being under indictment by the International Criminal Court for war crimes, including the abduction and indoctrination of tens of thousands of Ukrainian children, a crime often characterized as genocide. While the US is not a signatory of the ICC, the symbolic reception provided a significant lift to Russia's international legitimacy. Meanwhile, the conflict on the ground continues unabated. Drone attacks targeting civilians persist, carried out by Russian forces, resulting in ongoing casualties. While President Trump advocates for an end to the violence, the responsibility for the continued killings lies squarely with the aggressors. Putin's public remarks have been notably cynical, offering faint praise to the president for his energetic and sincere efforts to end the war, a statement that effectively shifts the entire burden of resolution onto the United States, despite Russia's ability to unilaterally halt hostilities at any moment. Economic and social pressures within Russia are mounting. The country faces severe financial strain, high inflation, labor and parts shortages, and a deficit compounded by an increasingly militarized state budget. Conscription resistance is growing, particularly among non-Russian ethnic groups, as the human cost of prolonged conflict becomes ever more apparent. Analysts suggest that strategic economic pressure, including secondary sanctions, tariffs, and measures to limit oil and gas revenue flowing to the Kremlin, remains one of the most effective tools to compel Russia to end the war. Without such measures, Putin appears free to escalate demands and test international resolve without consequence. In conclusion, the Alaska meeting has highlighted the complex interplay of diplomacy, power, and international law. President Trump's approach has left Russia in a position to dictate terms, while the ongoing humanitarian and economic toll continues to mount. The world watches closely as these events unfold, underscoring the critical importance of sustained pressure, clear messaging, and strategic engagement to ensure that future negotiations are meaningful and enforceable. For viewers following this evolving situation, don't forget to subscribe to Global News Insight, like this video, and share it with others to stay informed on the latest developments in international affairs. This is your trusted source for comprehensive, professional, and fully analyzed news. Global News Insight.